Everybody dance.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back, live at 5-ish. Nice to see you all again. I'm mentor trainer Kathryn, and here's the rest of my team. So today we're doing something pretty special. We are really lucky to be celebrating. See if I can get to where I want to go. Here we go. We're going to be talking about It's All About Relationships. And then we're going to celebrate that with a special guest we have with us, Michael Horvich, who is a poet and writer from outside of Chicago in Evanston, Illinois. So first, let's explore relationships. So I'm going to do a little role play with you. Well, with someone else in my room. Ivy? Right there. Ivy, when was the last time you brushed your hair?
A few days ago.
A few days ago, yeah, I can tell. So you have got to brush this. You're going to have dreadlocks before you know it. And you're still wearing that same filthy outfit from yesterday.
But I don't want to change.
I know you don't want to change, but you have to change because if we go out, you cannot go out until you brush your hair and change your shirt.
But I only wore it. I've only been wearing this one since yesterday.
Yesterday, that's disgusting because you're starting to stink. Okay, pause. This is a real situation, is it not? Is this real, kind of? Do we have this conversation?
Yes.
Yes. If I want something to go differently, let me try something a little different. Ivy. Hey, buddy. How are you? Come on. Oh, I love you. Hey, listen. You know what? I love that blue with your eyes. You look so pretty. And it brings out the pretty color of your hair. So listen. For your birthday, I promised you an adventure day.
Yes.
And you've been telling me that you want to go to the ASPCA and look for dogs and kittens.
Mm-hmm.
How about this? We go ahead and get your hair brushed and pull it back so the animals can see your beautiful face, and we'll put on a clean, pretty dress so they'll be interested in seeing you. How's that sound?
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. Can I have a hug? Yeah. Atta girl. Okay, you can go watch TV now. Thanks.
Yay.
Okay, team. So what did you notice about those two interactions?
Very different.
Very different.
So,
What was different?
so I think
Michael, you can...
Oh, I was gonna say, so I think you probably love her equally in both, but you actually said it to start with in the beginning of the second one, which was like, oh, that's so nice. Yeah, let's go from there. That's a better place to start, I think.
So I started the first one, and even though you knew I loved her, I started with I love you before I made a big ask of someone who literally doesn't like to brush her hair or change her clothes.
You were a lot less demanding.
A lot less demanding. Was I actually demanding the same thing or something different?
You got the same thing, but you did it in a different way, of course. You know.
So what did you notice about what was different, Michael?
You reaffirmed your love. You contacted by giving a hug, even though she's stuck. Sorry, because you said that earlier, right? And you overlooked that, and you gave her reasons why you wanted her to have her hair back so the animals could see her, and change into a pretty dress so the animals could enjoy her. And I'm sure that made it a lot easier for her to give in, so to speak.
Yeah, so team, does that look like something we've seen before?
Yes.
Looks like some PPA.
What is it? What do we call that in positive approach to care? What do we call that?
Yeah, that's your PPA, your positive physical approach.
I used a PPA, positive physical approach. Then I used
Positive action starter.
a positive action starter. And there's one other key element of PAC skills.
There's
I
a-
got connected. I got connected with her. How did I do that?
I think it was almost that idea of warming it up a little bit. I love you, and this something about her shirt. I think a compliment of her shirt.
Yeah, I said in her shirt and her pretty blue eyes, how that color looks nice on her. And blue, I didn't say that, but I know that blue was her favorite color. Yeah. So what does this speak to about what our core beliefs are in PAC? What is one of our core beliefs in PAC?
I think Michael kind of mentioned a nice bit of it. Is this the outcome was the same, but the relationship in those two was very, very different.
Relationship.
Yeah.
Yep. As a PAC, it's all about the relationship. To us, the relationship is the most important thing. We try to make sure that we lead with relationship before agenda, because we're the ones with a big brain and we can make life worth living. We got to know that people are doing the best they can with what they got, and we're the ones that can change. Is this person I just worked with living with the same developed brain as I am?
No.
No. Well, questionable on some days, but no, but yeah. So can we use this relationship first with just people living with dementia or with other people?
With everyone.
Everyone. Yeah. So I'm going to ask that we think about, let's try that. Let's try using relationship first. Everybody got somebody? Think about it for a second. Is there somebody you know that you're like, I tend to lead with my agenda a little bit. Next time, I just want to try a relationship first.
I think a lot of us, before we even say hello, how are you doing today, we jump right into agenda.
Okay, here's what I need from you. Oh, so glad you're here. I really need something. Yeah, nice. So you're hearing the voice of our guest today, Michael Horvich, and I'm going to show you a picture of kind of how we got hooked up with him and how he found us and we found him. Michael was a care partner. Oops, wrong way. And this is Michael and his partner, Gregory, who was living with dementia. So Michael, you and I talked about sharing some of your poetry. So why don't you introduce yourself and how your poetry came about?
Okay. I'll go through the introduction kind of quickly. I'm good at talking fast. I was an educator of younger kids, and I found that by talking quickly, they had to pay attention. Anyway, I have a BA in liberal arts and sciences from the University of Illinois at Urbana, degree work, Hunter College in New York, master degree in education and special ed, gifted education from National Louis University in Evanston, and an advanced certificate in administration and supervision from the U of I in Urbana. I've been retired actually for about 25 years. And after a 30-year elementary school and university teaching career, I have been more busy than you can imagine. I'll speed through this. Educator, speaker, storyteller, writer, poet, photographer, blogger, artist, jeweler, bookbinder, lecturer, actor, supernumerary, which is an acting extra for the Lyric Opera of Chicago, a museum curator, you can find out more about that on my website, a flea circus ringmaster, a dementia Alzheimer's advocate and caregiver for my life partner, Gregory. You can follow me and my projects on my website, which is my last name, www.horvich, HORVICH.com. That's michaelhorvich.com. I started writing because I found that it was a way for me to process when I was really no longer able to process day-to-day activities with Gregory. It was also a way to share with family and friends our progress along the dementia Alzheimer's journey, the path, and also ended up picking up a lot of followers as we went along. By the time I was done, I think I had over 2,000 posts in a 10-year period, and we had over 500,000 hits. Usually people don't comment, you know how that is, but it made me feel good to be able to see that I was touching so many people. The writing helps me process, understand, figure out my life as well as what's going on. Sometimes the writing takes its form in poetry. I've not been the first one to say this, but it's as if the poetry writes me. I would have an experience, let's say, with Gregory that was a difficult one, and I would start to blog about it, and it would come out poetically. Poetry I find wonderful because there's beauty, hope, clarity, faith, life in poetry. Poetry deals with the essence. The words are carefully chosen, the images are carefully chosen, and the ideas are carefully woven. And so that makes poetry very powerful. Again, Gregory not being as available to me was very difficult emotionally and intellectually after being in our committed relationship for 41 years, the last 12 of which we lived walking the dementia path. And all of a sudden, the committed sharing, joint decision-making, being each other's best friends wasn't happening. And so I was able to turn to writing to help that. So it was a way of supporting myself emotionally and intellectually, giving closure to difficult moments that sometimes I couldn't get closure to, and then also sharing with family and friends as well as our other people who followed. Almost ready to get to the poetry. I find that the poetry I write, it shares my everyday observations and experiences. The good and the difficult was informed, many of the poetries, by the dementia Alzheimer's path that Gregory and I walked together. There were times that I wasn't as good as I could have been, that maybe I was a little impatient, rarely, but a couple times prone to rage when I left the room. I learned how to cry without waking him up at night, and if I really needed a good cry, I'd take a shower because that way I'd be wet already. But there was so much joy and laughter and so many gifts during those 12 years that I really like to focus on that more. So my poetry is pretty easy to read and understand, and in many ways it kind of feels like you're sitting with me and having a cup of coffee, and we're talking about life. So my poetry today is mainly focused at caregiving partners who might identify with a poem, be able to look at their partner for whom they care in a new way, recognize that they're not alone on this journey, even though it's a difficult one. But again, there's so much joy and so many gifts that one.
So Michael,
Yeah.
Michael, we're gonna, if you have one poem that you think might speak to some of that, we'd really love to hear it.
And we're moving right there next.
Terrific, because we're kind of limited in our time.
I understand that.
Yes, I'd love to hear one of your poems.
Let's go to the dance. It's called The Dance of Normalcy. Living with one who has Alzheimer's is like orchestrating an improvisational dance with normalcy. No music, no planned steps, no assigned leading partner. Not being able to anticipate turns or circles or dips or bends. Defining and redefining more normalcy by the moment. Normalcy for him, not necessarily for me being the key. And so we live in each other's worlds, sometimes not making sense, but at least we love and at least we live. Poem. Thank you.
Beautiful. I think we have time for one more.
How about memories?
Whichever one you think.
This one is just, it had to do with memories. I was sitting on the balcony. Greg had passed for quite a while by now, and I was just remembering. I sit on the summer-warmed balcony, the grass and the trees growing lush on the roof deck garden below us, as this poem begins to blur with tears. My coffee steams in the hot sun, my toast rye with raspberry jam, my favorite. The birds chirp and twiddle and tweet as the cold tears run down my cheeks. May I come out and join you? He asks, with an upturned questioning voice through the screen. But of course you can, and welcome, I reply with sorrow's memory. We talk about the flowers growing up below us, about the sun and the clouds above us moving. We sit together quietly, holding hands, as my memory is unable to quiet itself. I stick my expecting bare foot into his empty, sun-worn sandals. He suns his legs stretched over mine. And I wonder, with whom can I cry? Deep gasp after breath, tears continuing to flood and fill, a sadness, an emptiness, a grief, so deep as to drown without hope. But also, more importantly, memories of love and joy, with smiles ear to ear, and laughter at the silliest jokes, together forevermore. Oh, I have goosebumps.
Me too. Thank you, Michael. That is really profoundly beautiful. And you have so many more beautiful poems that I'm very much appreciate. So thank you for sharing that. I'm sure we'll love to have you come back again. And
Thank
here's
you.
what's really neat, everybody.
Thank you.
Michael, I'll show you some pictures. He has some books that you can purchase. Poetry Sit With Me a While. That's another poem I definitely want you to come read for us one sometime. And then a second one, Sit With Me a While Longer. Michael, where can people find these?
If you go to my website again, www.horvich.com, there will be links there. I think you can actually get them online at Barnes & Noble and
Okay.
also lulu.com.
Terrific.
So-
Now, guess what else? Michael also does some writing for us in our free Online Dementia Journal. So how can you find some of Michael's writings? You can join our Online Dementia Journal. It's monthly, it's free. Here's how you get to it. You go to our homepage, you click on the resources button, and right underneath, when it comes down the drop box, it's right there. Your free, click on the free monthly Online Dementia Journal. If you're looking for Michael's articles, he wrote Alzheimer's: A Love Story in July of 2018. He wrote Advice to a Dementia Alzheimer's Caregiver Newbie in June of 2019. So I guess it's perfect that we're having you back this time of year now, 2020.
Perfect.
So everybody, here's what's coming up with PAC. We have some live and virtual group consultations with Teepa, where you bring your challenges and she helps build some skills to hopefully help with them. We do 30-minute consultations with PAC consultants. We do a Brain Connection Cafe coming up, and Ask Teepa Anything, a free is it Facebook, Carrie, or is it YouTube?
Yeah, on July 1st, we're doing one on Facebook, and I believe on July 22nd, I'm not sure on the date on that, or it might be on YouTube. Check our website.
And that's another place where you can ask Teepa questions. It's a free seminar, and she will try to answer some of them. www.teepasnow.com. And as always, you can help keep supporting us and people living with dementia, liking and subscribing. We really appreciate when you share your PAC story. Join us at 8 a.m. or join Teepa at 8 a.m. for her 10-minute time on Facebook. And this gang is always here, live at 5-ish. So thank you, everybody. And I think we're going to dance our way out on this one.
We're gonna dance. Everybody, you ready?
Here it comes.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to help us spread TEEPS's positive approach message around the world. And don't forget to click the bell to get notified when new videos are posted.